the revolution, tourist. I'm Sable. This is Echo. Barnes is there in the back.
Wasn't expecting a crowd.
I couldn't go into details in the note I left. It's all about security. Just meeting with you here is a huge risk for us. Let me explain. We represent a growing faction inside the tower. People fed up with the current leadership. If Nola's gonna remain habitable, the time's come for a change at the top.
So this is a coup you have brewing.
Mama's made a lot of enemies, even on the inside.
Echo's right. All the stories Mama used to tell just never added up. People are starting to wake up, see the light.
How did you find me?
Everyone knows about the tourist. And we are always looking for allies. Barnes and I are Tower. Echo is former Reclaimed. There are more of us, about 3 dozen on the inside. And we've got sympathizers among the exiles. But I guess you'd call us the ringleaders.
Why revolt? The tower runs this city. Destroyed all of its rivals. You guys haven't made, right?
Sounds like they got you drinking the punch, too.
Our view from the inside isn't so hopeful, tourist. Mama's got every one of us in her sights. No one's safe. Ever since the reserve was a bust, she's been consolidating power. Building up units of heavily armed elite fighters, all loyal to her. Call themselves Eradicators. The way we see it, the only chance to get to Mama is from within. And soon. We eliminate her, the tower can be returned to the people. And Nola survives.
Do you have the means to pull something like this off?
We're working towards it, yeah. But we're limited in our movements. Have to watch every step. We meet here when we can. What we lack is a reliable asset on the outside while we set the stage. Someone who knows the city and has free reign. Someone who can deliver a counterpunch. Keep Mama off balance.
Bueno. Who better than the tourist?
Do you have the means?
We're working towards it, yeah. Have to watch every step. What we lack, someone who knows the city. Someone who can deliver a
Bueno. Who...
All right, you've convinced me. How can I help?
Now, the tower has their sights set on the radio station in the French Quarter, where JB used to broadcast. We think Mama's planning to use the station to flood the airwaves with propaganda. She's already papering the whole city with her old town conspiracies. They're gonna make their move on the radio station, soon.
Real soon. A daytime operation. We stop Mama from taking the radio station, we slow down the spread of her lies.
And instead, we give the people what they really want to hear. A new take on an old classic. Here. It's JB's last sermon. Hasn't been broadcast yet. Echo found it in an abandoned, reclaimed base.
It's a real firestorm, too. You've never heard JB like this. Out for blood.
We need you to stop the tower from taking over the station. And get JB's last hurrah on the air.
Fighting propaganda with propaganda?
If the tower controls all the information out there, we don't have a chance.
If we want to inspire an uprising, we can't have Mama polluting the airwaves with bullshit. We get the exiles behind us, then we strike. Barnes is gonna go ahead of you. See what intel she can gather about access to the station. But she can't be seen.
I'll leave you a present in Bird Lounge, down the street from the station.
Before you go, we need a reliable way to communicate. Timing's key, so passing notes ain't gonna cut it. Echo?
These walkies are older than dirt. Broken, pretty much, no voice capabilities. But I figured out how to get the alert signal to work.
I'll reach out to you on the walkie when we need to meet. But you have to beep us back to let us know you're coming. Otherwise, we won't be around. You better get going. We need to roll out soon. Don't forget to grab that beta from Barnes at Bird Lounge. She knows how to exploit the enemy's weakness.
Coming at you on all channels, people. The Pod King is open and the dealing can commence. see you.
Give me a second, please.
Hold up, we're not finished.
All right, you have my attention now.
What the fuck was I saying? Tourists. We've been staring at that door for hours hoping you'd come through it. Damn good to see you.
Hey,
What's the matter? The priest put you in a bad mood? He can be a pushy son of a bitch.
Sounds familiar.
Can it, Dez? What did Father Carter have to say?
he's in. He did have a few stipulations. He gave me a letter to give to you.
That son of a bitch. All right, put it in the drawer. That son of a bitch. All right, put it in the drawer. That son of a bitch. All right, put it in the drawer. Man of God, my ass. He's a wolf, this guy. Shifty, but fuck it. He can have it his way. With the preacher bringing his exiles to the table, we will have people in every corner of this city. There's a whole lot of demand out there, tourists, and everybody in Nola's gonna know that the Pond King always delivers.
It doesn't sound as cool as you think.
Keep quiet, Dez. I'm doing business with the tourists. You'll get your cut once the goods start flowing through here from our exile friends. With everybody still dazed from the shitstorm in Old Town and the reserve fiasco, this trade network is the perfect plan at the perfect time. Supplies have never been harder to come by.
Everybody's got Old Town on the brain.
Yeah, well, it was a fucked up situation. Some lunatic has figured out how to keep the bells ringing for days. What's the point of that? Slaughtering a bunch of innocent people, then making it nearly impossible to ever set foot in that stretch of Nola ever again. Chaos like that ain't just bad for business, it's bad for living. Hope Mama gets a hold of that fucker, gives them what they deserve.
I heard it was some tower guy who went rogue.
Yeah, but you know what they say, Pumpkin. Truth travels slowly. Rumors have wings.
You're like the only one alive who says stuff like that.
Cut the shit, Dez. I mean it.
Why the supply shortage?
Gotta think the reserve had something to do with it. Everybody had it in their heads that there was this buried treasure out there. And they all broke their necks trying to find it. Then, poof, it evaporates into thin air. And all those folks who were depending on...
Another sign that we're all fucked.
You need to shift your attitude, kid.
Just make sure my cut is substantial, Sonny. Then we won't have a problem.
I'll tell you what I tell all my associates. I haven't operated this fine establishment for 28 years through a fucking apocalypse season by breaking my promises. You've got my word, and my word is good as solid gold.
It's true. He does say that to everybody.
That's enough, Dez. One thing you gotta know about the exiles, they're like catfish, night feeders. So you'll need to venture out after dark to do business with them. Work that UV flashlight to find where they've set up shop. It's a whole different ballgame at night. But the exiles say it's the best time to scavenge. Less competition, lots more loot.
I'm not scared of the dark. I dig it. Soothes me.
Okay, Dracula. Just giving you a heads up. Listen, while you're here, I got a favor to ask you. It would help the trade network out a whole lot. Our old friend Henri, he had stuff hidden all over this town. He was like a fucking squirrel. Couple of nuts here, couple of nuts there. Most of it I could care less. But he and I were in the middle of a deal for one of those stashes, and then he got himself dead. I happen to know where he hid it. You can keep whatever else you find, but the batteries, those belong to me.
You expect me to risk my ass for 9 volts?
It may seem trivial to you, I know, but the whole trade network relies on batteries to keep in touch. I know more than a few exiles who would gladly exchange their firstborn for one damn 9-volt.
Better be worth it, Sonny. My patience has limits.
Believe me, I have no intention of testing it. So it sounds like we got us a deal then. The spot ain't too far from here. An old recording studio in the French Quarter. Lots of fond memories. Henri and I used to do session gigs there. Him on slide, me on bass. We even played with Slim Dog Fortune once, if you can believe that.
You knew Slim Dog.
I most certainly did. Not like Henri. Those two played together for years. But I spent enough time with the legend to know how special his talent was. Back in the day, after Slim Dog met his maker, Henri would always be boasting about how Slim Dog told him he was the best slide player he'd ever seen. Even better than Slim Dog himself. Ha! Oh man, I miss that fool Henri. And he could play, there is truth to that. But better than Slim Dog? Come on now. The cat who owned the recording studio was a lunatic, Martinique the Martian Driscoll. He was a bit on the paranoid side, thinking everyone was out to steal from him. Didn't trust us musician types as far as he could throw us out the front door. He was always switching the door code, sometimes every other day.
Where do I find the code?
The Martian was something of a ladies' man, had a dalliance with a different lady every week. So he set himself up with a private suite at the Hotel Eclair. Every time he changed the door code to the studio, he'd leave it there for whoever he had coming around. You find room 212, you find the code.
I was just at the Hotel Eclair. Place is infested.
One last thing. We're not gonna be keeping regular business hours from here on out. Security reasons. I'm sure you get it. We'll shout out on the radio when the doors are open, so stay tuned in. Good luck to you, tourists.
Ah,